All right, so you killed it, girl. You killed it.
I had so much fun. It was great. It was the best weekend yet.
Yeah, you crushed your hurricane heat, and you got all the obstacles at the sprint except for the rope and the spear. Is that right?
Yeah, it was so. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was like in tears of happiness a couple times. I just couldn't believe I could do things that I didn't imagine, like the inverted wall. That's
Yeah.
always like a really hard one. I usually spend a lot of time there, and it's a huge team challenge to get all of us over the wall. Um, and I don't know even how I did it. I just walked right up it and crawled over it like it was no problem at all. And then I spent a lot of time there encouraging other people to let me push them over it, you know, that they could do it. And it was pretty awesome. And the rings, the monkey bars, just I did all of it first time, no problem at all. So it was really fun. The rope climb, I already kind of knew I wasn't going to do that one because I haven't put enough time, you know, learning it yet. And so that was okay, you know. And
Have you been practicing with the rope, with the technique?
no, I haven't started practicing yet. I just haven't started. Left there looking up how to apply for the age,
How to apply for what?
or how to sign up to do my age group, and I never
Oh,
felt that way before. So I'm always wanting to do more, and I left there like, what can I do next? How do they do age groups? And so I started looking into it, and I'm like, I could do that. I could do that.
you're gonna be going for age group soon. That's awesome. You're like I told you, Larae, your journey. Like there's so many people you don't even know they're seeing you, and they're watching your transformation, and they're watching what you're going through, and you are inspiring people, and it's awesome. Wow. And now that you're thinking of stepping up to age group, wow,
I am. I mean, it just feels like the next step to me. I feel like if I can do this, I'd like to get a little more competitive. I like the big group that encourages me and that we go with, and the sprints are fun to do with new people and getting them into it. But I like to push myself, you know, a little bit further, and I think it would be a lot of fun. And the hurricane heat, I mean, it was hard. It was crazy hard, but it was so much fun, and it was so doable. It was hard, but I could do it, and I could do it in a fun way. And then the next day, I couldn't believe I felt so good to go do that sprint. Like I wasn't even a thing. I was just excited to get there and go do it. And all the friends that I made the night before, and then seeing those people out there that I looked at like these crazy huge athletes I was at this hurricane heat with, because a lot of them had done like the beast that same day and stuff, you know, and I was out on the course with them being recognized and getting hugs, and I see Elise out there, and I see you know, it was just great. It's really cool to the
wow,
kind of friends that you make.
that's
So
fantastic. And yeah, you went and crushed your sprint after doing the hurricane heat.
after, yeah,
More
yeah.
incredible. So did you
So
ever
I
think,
can't.
Larae, that after like after your first Spartan race, or even the ones you did earlier this year, did you ever think you would be thinking about being an age group competitive athlete?
No, absolutely not. I knew I wanted to like try for the trifecta because I know a couple girls that I run with that have gotten there. So I was like, well, I can do that then. I'm gonna go for that. But I never thought that I would compare myself or think I was capable of running with people that are competing for their age. I'm
There
so
must have been
excited.
something that changed, Larae. There's been a shift somewhere. What has happened from earlier this year till now with this race that you just did? What would you say has shifted? What has changed?
I think that I have finally started to get stronger, and my confidence is just built up. The Spartan released their pictures, you know, and I'm looking at these, and there's some pictures of me standing before I started the monkey bars, and like my concentration and my focus and like know that I think I've spent time learning how to do the obstacles and knowing what I'm going to do, where the first time I went in, I had no clue and I just failed them all, you know, like, or did them all as a huge group, you know, like, I can't even believe like I'm covered in bruises this time, but not the same bruises as before. Like I used to get them all in my upper arms because I would just put them over and struggle so much, but now I'm doing everything and pushing myself up and using so much strength that I don't even have those same bruises. So I think I've just gotten stronger and know that I'm capable of it. I keep seeing I'm capable of more. I can't believe I'm capable of doing like the hurricane heat. And
That is fantastic. So I saw your pictures of the monkey bars. You look like you're grinning ear to ear, and you look like you were just floating across them effortlessly.
It felt effortlessly when I was up there. I couldn't. I was like, it was like I was in a dream. Like I've been practicing them at the park, and I did them at the little training, you know. But those are all different. They're lower. You're not exhausted. You know, there's tons of different factors. And so before the monkey bars was all the dunk walls, was all the mud pits. So you're soaking wet, and they always do that. And totally worth
You
it.
felt on the top of the world, though, after ringing that bell.
So on top of the world. And then the rings were like Hercules hoist came up, and I always get that one, no problem. So I did it, helped some other people. Then the rings came up, you know, and again, I was like, I got this. But when I stood up there, I was a little worried because they were pretty far out there. And I was
You
like,
struggled with the rings before, right?
I've always tried. I've never gotten the rings ever at it. Never gotten the rings. I just somehow I did it. I jumped out there. I got it. I got all the way across. Rang another bell. It was just it was an epic feeling. It sure was. And again, when I was done with it, I couldn't believe it was over. I knew I had so much more in me. I knew I could have ran that course again, and so I just know I'm ready to do a super and a beast. I know I could do it because I'm surprised it's over when it's over. So I know I still have more in me.
That's incredible. I love hearing that. And you know,
Yeah.
some of the biggest breakthroughs happen. Definitely your training, you get stronger and everything, but some of the biggest breakthroughs happen mentally. There are mental shifts that take place. Did you feel like there was something mentally that had changed in you? And if so, what would you say made the difference in that mental shift?
I don't know exactly what made the difference, except for maybe just believing in myself. It's been hard to really believe in myself or put myself in that category. I've been separating myself from who I want to be, physically and mentally, I suppose. And so I guess I've just been trying to tell myself that is who I am, and I can be that person, and I can do this. And I just went for it. I just went for it, and I told myself that I was gonna do it. And people are cold, and I'm not cold. It's like I feel like I'm in a different world when I'm out there in this race, more so than any other race, because I was so focused on getting it done. I
So
knew I was gonna do it.
yeah. So one of the things I always say, like as part of our training, is like to unleash your inner warrior. And it sounds like you unleashed your inner warrior, and you
Mm-hmm.
in there with a different mindset and focus than you'd ever done before. Was there a catalyst that gave you that shift in perspective to have more belief in yourself and go in there with more focus? What would you say? Where did that come from? What changed?
I mean, that hurricane heat the night before, now that I think about it, might have, really inspired me more than I thought it would. I didn't know what to expect going into that event, and I thought it was going to break me a lot more. I was prepared to really get broken and to feel a lot more weaknesses when I was done. And I didn't feel that way. I felt I felt stronger. I couldn't believe that I did it. Um, it just I just couldn't believe that I was there with the majority of men, a lot of men, some which were whining even, which I was weird, and you know, it was I don't know. I really think it inspired me. It gave me a lot of adrenaline. I couldn't even sleep that night. That's why I was like leaving there in the thunderstorm, like, I
Uh,
can't believe I thought I couldn't run the sprint tomorrow, dude. I would, man. And, you know, we were all kind of like, I told you we should have ran the beast today because we couldn't believe how many people had done it before. And, you know, I think it did turn me a little bit from thinking that I was just doing Spartan for fun, which I still do, but to thinking that I could be a a competitive Spartan, and that I had actually could be. And I never thought that or was feeling that before, you know.
that's
And
great.
crossing those monkey bars and doing those things and seeing people, not that I wanted to feel good about other people's failures, but it made me feel good to see that there were people that I would look at like, man, that person's strong, you know, like, I can't believe they can't get across this, or the guys like can't even grab onto the bars, and so they're like putting their whole arms over
Yeah,
the
yeah,
top because they can't even hold on. And you know, and seeing people look at me like, how is she doing that? It was like I said, I don't feel good that they were failing, but it made me feel good that I wasn't.
yeah,
And
that's great. That is so
uh,
great. So you have
so
had an incredible journey. Like even before you started your training with me, it's
definitely.
truly inspirational. You've accomplished so much on your own. And I just want to ask you how, like getting a little more structured training specific to OCR, how has that like impacted your processes going into this race?
Well, I definitely noticed it for sure doing the Spartan Hurricane Heat event, because we started our warm up, and right away they said they introduced Brandon, who was an SGX trainer coach, and he was just one of the redshirt volunteers who started the event, but then he ended up participating in the event. So he started and did our warm-ups, and right away he just like was doing lateral apes, he was doing crab walks forward, he was doing bear crawls back, and I'm like, oh, we're doing the dynamic workup right now. And so I think just the little things helped, because I haven't spent a lot of time bear crawling or crab walking, but I have now. And I think it greatly helped because it didn't wear me out. It wasn't new to me. Whereas before, you get down and try to do something like that that's kind of new, it's going to hurt, it's going to be new, it's going to be awkward. But it was easy for me to get down in the briar bushes, in the gravel, in the mud, in the cold. It was cold out. We didn't have nice weather, and I was, you know, crab walking and bear crawling like no problem. And I think even just the band activations, doing all my full circle arms. At first, when I started doing that stuff, shoulders are popping and grinding. There was no pain or anything, but my range of motion was smaller, and you know, definitely smaller and much poppier and tighter. And now just doing all the, you know, round the worlds and dislocator, all of that stuff, I think it has helped so much. Be able to do the monkey bars, be able to do the swinging things, because before a lot of reason why you can't do it is if there's pain, it hurts, you're not quite flexible enough. So I think I've opened up that my flexibility so much that I can swing. I mean, those swinging rings are pretty far apart, and you know, you have to really get yourself going, and then you're holding on by one arm, getting, you know, and so I think that just all of that and doing it consistently helps a lot more than than anybody would think. Everybody keeps telling me I look buff.
Well,
So
that's got to
that's
feel
cool.
good, doesn't
I'm
it?
not like weightlifting or anything, so so and I think a lot of it's just because I'm starting to get just more toned up and and doing those things. So it feels good for sure.
That's great. So you're definitely feeling the benefits of the shoulder routines that we have implemented in the program, feeling your strength
For
and
sure.
your range of motion, all those increases.
For sure. And I just getting stronger everywhere because I'm getting better at like jumping. Uh, and which is something I want to keep working on because I don't have a lot of height on me. And so a lot of obstacles, like you got to be able to get your arms up there and like really push yourself over it. And I don't even know what specifically I do that has made me really um, good at that. But I mean, I can go over the walls at a Spartan or the whatever that big beam one is. It's just a big beam, but everybody struggles with it because they go to get on it and their legs go under it.
Oh yeah, the hurdles. Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, I jump over those like I've been in track and field or something. I haven't been in track and field, but I just and I don't get all bruised up anymore because I've really learned how to get my arms up there and I just push myself up and over and push myself up and over and so I've just gotten so much stronger, and then I can come back around and I can give a knee to people, and that doesn't hurt me. I just like let people use my knee as a step. Go, I'm fine, I'm gonna hurt you. Go. You got it.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So now we're 3 days later after the race. It's on a Wednesday. How's your body feeling overall? Your energy levels, your pain, your soreness. How are you feeling after the?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Yesterday I was probably the most sore. That I was sore than the first day, but honestly, all my soreness is pretty much going away. So yeah, I'm bruised up, but honestly, I feel pretty good. I've been tired, but I ate a lot of food after that, and so that kind of made me feel probably crappy because I haven't eaten like Arby's in a long time, and we went to Arby's afterward. But other than that, it's I feel better than I've felt at any of my other races, and this is 2 in a row. So normally the first sprints that I've done, I can't even like move or like get out of bed for a couple days. I feel like that bad normally, but this hasn't done that to me like that at all.